What's going on, everybody? Marcus back again here with another quick video. I just got finished watching the dev Q&A. I know the Q&A was yesterday. When this video will be uploaded, it would be yesterday. But I just read that you will be able to target specific legendaries somewhat in 7.2. Now, I know this solves a big problem with the WoW community in which they want to get the best in slot legendaries as soon as they can, but I actually don't like this very much for the simple reason of Blizzard is essentially saying that you should just be able to target the piece of gear that you've always wanted. And this kind of flies in the face of how gearing has always been in World of Warcraft. With the exception of the bonus rolls, which was kind of a concession to, make sure more loot dropped because Blizzard essentially wanted people to gear more and gear faster. I don't like this notion of players just being able to just go after that uber awesome piece of gear specifically. Now, just to preface this, you'll be able to get a tier token very similar to like a timeless chest. You'll be able to purchase that slot, and it may contain a legendary. We don't know what the drop rate's going to be. I imagine it's going to be less than 10%. But the fact of the matter is that you will be able to somewhat target your legendary. I don't like this system whatsoever. I find the legendary system overall to not be the best way they could have done it in Legion, but I don't think it was too big of an issue unless you're just one of those players that is essentially saying, I want to just be an uber powerful player at all times. I want zero discrepancy between me and the person next to me based off of luck. I just want to have my best in slot legendary. Just give it to me and I'll be happy. I don't think that that is the smartest way to go about it. I know that's controversial, and I know people might be upset about it, but I think it's just a bad idea. The reason why I think it's a bad idea is because now you're giving players a shortcut to best in slot. The best thing about Titan Forging and War Forging and Thunder Forging over the last 3 expansions is that there was always this small carrot on a stick to get your best in slot gear. You never got completely fulfilled unless you got best in slot with Leech or Indestructible or a gem socket or whatever. It was just impossible to get best in slot unless you were a World First Guild that grinded mythics and split run mythics after you were done with progression. That was really the only way to get best in slot gear. If you give your players an end of the line, they will get to that line faster and they will stop playing and they will stop subbing. I know a lot of people might say, oh, this legendary system made me unsub. Blizzard, this is the worst thing ever. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. It's not the worst thing ever. It's certainly better than any other legendary system they've ever done. I think it's a better legendary system than the Legendary Ring, which was just a grind fest. The Mop Legendary Cloak system wasn't so bad. It was a long quest line that took an entire expansion to complete. But the fact of the matter is that once again, the vocal minority has figured out a way to weasel their way out of a situation that they perceive to be wrong. And the reason why they perceive it to be wrong is this, and I've spoken about this previously. The reason why they're perceiving it wrong is because of the fact that they are just unlucky. And players don't want to feel like they're unlucky. Players want to feel like their hard work gets them to a point where they're better than somebody else. But these are the exact same players under the exact same expansion that are saying, I'm tired of grinding artifact power because it takes a lot of work for me to get this very small reward, but it makes me more powerful. You can't have it both ways. You're a hypocrite. If you hate artifact power and you hate the legendary system, then there's no middle ground for you that's ever going to make you happy because Blizzard's already done every single iteration of it. Unless you can point to one expansion and say, I liked it this way, it was perfect this way. Unless you can say that, you're a hypocrite if you hate both the artifact power system and the new legendary system. So I guess the vocal minority wins. Not a big fan of it, but I guess we'll see how it plays out. My prediction, you'll be able to target your best in slot legendaries. People will grind the necessary resources to get those tokens, get their best in slot legendaries, and then complain that there's nothing to do. If that's the case, then you've just asked for warlords all over again. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.